I recently watched a video from Christian YouTuber named Isaac David about a verse from Ephesians 5. So let's watch the clip first.
The Bible degrades women. Doesn't it say something about women needing to submit to men? Okay, what you're probably talking about is Ephesians 5, but it's important to know that it doesn't say that all women need to submit to all men. It says wives submit to your husbands. Okay, I didn't know that. And it also says that husbands should love their wives as Christ loved the church. What does that even mean? It means that just as Christ gave up his life for the church and loved them sacrificially, that's what husbands are called to. But obviously women are treated as less because they have to submit. No, but think of Jesus. When he went to the cross, he submitted himself to the Father. That didn't mean he was less than God the Father. No, they were equal. So what are you saying? Husbands and wives are equal in value, but God has given them different roles to display his glory and tell his story.
So let's break this down. Isaac says wives must submit to their husbands, but it is not disrespectful because the husbands will love their wives so much that they'll give up their life just like Jesus gave up his for the church. There are few problems with this argument. Let me explain my position. Jesus is a God. He gave up his life for us, so it makes sense for the church to submit itself to Jesus. That is why we worship him. I agree with Isaac on that. But if a wife has to submit herself to her husband, should she also have to worship him like a god? Let us look into the history of Christian societies. Most of the wives submitted to their husbands over the centuries. They did all the chores in the house, bore children, raised them, managed the household, and remained loyal and faithful to their husbands. What did husbands offer them in return? Women were always looked down. Their opinions were dismissed because of their gender, and they never had any rights or freedoms like men. If the husbands loved their wives like Jesus loved his church, why did women had to fight so hard for basic things like voting rights, education, employment, prevention of domestic abuse, prevention of sexual harassment, etc.? Even now in US, the Equal Rights Amendment that is supposed to ensure equality for women under law, it's still not passed. Towards the end of the video, he says husbands and wives have equal value. Well, the husbands didn't think that their wives had equal value. Even modern Christian societies don't think that. He also says that men and women have different roles. Yes, except women got the submissive one. And this is all for God's glory and to tell his story. I don't even know what that means. How is it in God's glory that the wives have to submit to their husbands? Okay, let's leave all that. Suppose if you were a father, would you tell your daughter on her wedding day to submit to her husband? I certainly would not. All I will say is ask them to be happy and love and respect each other, because that is what married couples are supposed to do. I'm only saying this because no matter how much we sugarcoat it, this verse is problematic and needs a lot of historical context about how Christian husbands treated their wives using this verse.